a firm believer in anything online. If you can fill out the most information or all the fields, everything in the Google Ads ecosystem, the better it'll be for Google Ads as they all build off each other and try to place your specific brand or organization in front of the right people. And I think the more information that you provide, the better it'll be. How's it going, everybody? It's Gene Villanos here, another episode of the PPC Cave. Today, our episode is Google Ads news for September 2025. So we'll get into about 3 different news topics within the Google Ads ecosystem and how that applies to you as a PPC manager. Before I get into it, I do want to mention that Ryan will be back soon. He is just a little bit busy, so you guys get me for a little bit. And also, I want to get into this topic, but before I get into this topic, I just want to let y'all know our Opteo partnership is still live. If you want to go in our video description, it'll be opteo.com/theppccave, where you can double your 14-day free trial and double it to 28 days for free, and you'll be able to use the best Google Ads software I think that's out there right now. So if you have any questions about Opteo, go ahead and email us at theppccave@gmail.com. But let's get into the news for September 2025. The very first point is brand profiles in Merchant Center. And you might have already gotten an email for this, and it's really important that you pay attention to those emails. I know if you have a lot of clients, you can't really keep up with all of those emails all the time, but for this specific email, definitely be on the lookout for it. It'll essentially invite you to do the new brand profiles in Google Merchant Center. What brand profiles is in the Merchant Center is just a chance for your Google Ads account to just show more of its brand story, the values of the organization, any images or photos aside from regular default images that you would see on the product listing ad or the shopping ad. I think it's a good way to also show videos right on Google search about your specific business, your organization, and just be on Google Merchant Center to be a little bit more telling and transparent of what your organization is about, essentially. I keep saying essentially, but that's kind of like a vocab word I feel like I've been using a lot lately. It's almost like but instead I'm using essentially. I need to stop that. But anyway, you can definitely get early access. I think right now it's still in beta. I think this was announced even like last year on Google Marketing Live, but I think it's only now that people are really seeing it in most of their client accounts. And again, they're doing it through email, I believe. And of course, if you get on Google Merchant Center, I'm sure it will be there if you have access to it. But primarily, I've seen it through the emails of my Google Merchant Center, the clients that I manage. So I'll see that and I just click through and just fill it out. I'm a firm believer in anything online. If you can fill out the most information or all the fields, everything in the Google Ads ecosystem, the better it'll be for Google Ads as they all build off each other and try to place your specific brand or organization in front of the right people. And I think the more information that you provide, the better it'll be. Next is channel selection and campaign setup. I think this was one of the things that I saw on PPC News. Shout out to PPC News. But I read through and it said that someone skipped through choosing a goal when creating a campaign, and then you'll be asked either to pick all channels or select channels. If you're choosing all channels, then what that is doing is auto creating a Performance Max campaign. This could be a faster setup, but could basically push new users into like creating a Performance Max campaign without realizing it. And I think that's kind of sketch. A lot of the times we've seen as a trend or pattern with Google Ads that they've kind of hidden some things or just defaulted some things that is just pushed into their best interest, i.e. location, presence versus presence and interest. Even having AI Max or automatically create assets turned on in some of these settings. What else? Some of the auto apply recommendations. So there's definitely, a lot of sketchiness, I guess, when it comes to if you don't intentionally set something up in Google Ads. So if you're, again, in the channel selection for campaign setup, if you're skipping to choose a goal when creating a campaign, then you'll be asked either all channels or select channels. Again, if you're clicking all channels, that's going to auto create a Performance Max campaign for you. I'm sure seasoned PPC managers understand to do these channel selections or campaign setups specifically. I'm sure you have a specific way to do it if you're doing lead gen or if you're doing e-commerce, but then again, not everyone is always that experienced. So, just kind of be on the lookout for that. Thirdly is the demand gen upgrade. I think Google came out that demand gen upgrade is getting more conversions in regards to just how the algorithm is working for demand gen. Back then, demand gen, it was kind of just seen as brand awareness. Now it's more full funnel. It's really optimized for sales and leads, not just awareness anymore. So understanding that, the AI target that most people would be targeted for as a likely conversion, that's being used alongside the interest signals like across YouTube platforms, Discover, and more like Gmail, stuff like that. So, think of it as related to Performance Max, but it's really built for that rich visual, the videos and the photos. And if you don't want to use Performance Max all in, maybe you don't want to split shopping and search with demand gen. You want that, you don't want to split, but you want to categorize just demand gen, just the media, just the YouTube, just the rich content of visuals and video, and not have all of them mixed up, jumbled together. You want to have your search campaign, you want to have your shopping campaign manually, and then you still want to target maybe low hanging fruit or people ready to convert that just need a little bit of top of mind reminder that, hey, your organization exists. Then having a separate demand gen instead of an all Performance Max campaign has really gotten better. And I'm starting to test more demand gen in moving forward in kind of the clients that I'm acquiring, just because we're moving into Q4. And I think building up that demand gen profile as a remarketing tool is super important as we get to Black Friday, Cyber Monday, just being top of mind. So demand gen, in my opinion, does have a place for the campaign roster, not just a Performance Max campaign, but also splitting it off: search campaign, shopping campaign, and a demand gen. So yeah, again, just kind of reiterate, we have the brand profiles with Google Merchant Center. This can equate to better storytelling, kind of rounding off your brand and your organization a little bit more from Google's eyes. And also, there's going to be rich content and visual content that can be displayed more so now with these brand profiles. Check your emails again. Going about with channel selection, just remember, if you're not utilizing a goal, make sure that you understand when you're clicking all channels, that's AKA defaulting to Performance Max campaign. So just be aware of that. And then maybe you trying out a little bit more of demand gen. We all know whenever a new feature, new algorithm, new update is done by Google, they usually push this and really have good conversions and good results, even just early on, So, that's maybe something Google is going to push more with demand gen. I think it's going to continue to be a little bit more prevalent within all the other campaign types that we run, because a lot of times we'll just default to Performance Max. But, I think testing demand gen, it's not just awareness anymore. It's also being used to really convert, just because of how Google's pushed it, all the updates to demand gen, just in general. Also, I feel like a lot of conversions do happen when you have good images and videos and all these things that demand gen has to offer. But yeah, again, this was a very, very quick Google Ads episode. Just want to keep everyone updated with what's going on in Google Ads news, the Google Ads ecosystem for September 2025. If you have any questions, theppccave@gmail.com. We're there. Send us emails, send us comments on our TikTok, YouTube Reels, or just comment wherever you see this video. And we always release 12 a.m. Mountain Time every Monday. And yeah, we'll continue to do this for y'all. Oh, and then opteo.com/theppccave, double that 14-day trial to a 28-day trial to use and try out the best Google Ads software out there. So if you have any questions, and just let us know. But if there's nothing else, it's bye for now. Thanks.